Hi FlossTube, this is Barb with Lost and Floss. Today is September 4th, 2023. It's actually Labor Day. And video number, who knows? It'll be in the description, so you'll see it there. I'm just drawing a blank. I should be better about looking. However, it's unseasonably warm here. We're in the 90s, let's see. Well, it's supposed to get up to 93 again today. Yesterday was 94, and we were excited when the temperature went down to 84 and the inside matched the outside. So a little bit balmy, which is probably why I have the look. But after last time with the wind out on the deck, I was a little leery about going outside. Plus it's in the full sun, but you can see it behind me. And also these beautiful flowers I had to bring on vacation with me. I attended a baby shower at my good friend's house for her daughter-in-law, and she was like passing out bouquets of flowers, and I'm like, well, take one. She was going to her cabin too. And I said, take one with you. And she's like, take flowers? And I'm like, yeah, I do it all the time. So her friend grew these in her garden. They're just gorgeous. So I've been enjoying them. And the other handy tip that she said her friend always does is she cuts off the top of a water bottle and then puts them in there for like a temporary vase. And then she'll take them, to people she's visiting, or I guess she even leaves them at the gas station, which she goes to, which I think is very, very nice. But anyways, I'm rambling already, and I have lots and lots and lots to show you. I left my finishes home, so I'm going to just insert a little snippet of that at the end. Just have had lots of stuff going on between fun stuff and stitching stuff. So, yeah, let's get to it. I'm going to start by showing you something I just have out on my table. This one is Gathering the Green Sampler, Stacy Nash Primitive. And this was one I got at Country Sampler. It's still in the hoop. So I've made some good progress on this. Like I kind of have the house boxed in somewhat and starting on some windows. I think I had to rip it out when I was working on it a while back because I didn't line up. So I'm always thrilled when I count and everything is in place where it should be. So that's one I haven't showed for a while. Okay, and then, this was my piece that I started for my Leanne's Legacy piece, and I'll talk about that later in the video. But it's a Blackbird design, Spell of the Moon, and, oh, geez. Okay, we'll cut that out. Okay, it's a Blackbird design, Spell of the Moon. And what attracted me to this piece for this special honorary stitch was the Harvest Moon, because that was the name of Leanne, part of her Etsy shop. So I've got a pretty good start. I made an error with the tree. I forgot I was stitching 1/2, and I did the tree 2/2, but I'm going to leave it in for now and see how it looks when I'm all done, and I may just leave that. So this is going along fairly quickly, and this year I just needed one like that. I didn't want one that was going to be terribly, terribly long. Then I'm stitching a couple Christmas cheer Santa mug. It's a freebie from Pinker and Pumpkin Quilting. I'm stitching it on 32 count Vintage Sahara by Zweigert with the called for DMC. Since it's a freebie, I'll show you the chart. And I have pulled this out lately and I made some counting errors. So then, you know, you always have to go back and frog it out and start it again. But I'm missing the cheek color, so I think he'll look better. I'm still not positive that white's going to show up enough. So I may do something to jazz that up. But that's still to be determined. I really haven't made a decision on that yet. Oh, then this is one that I have done with members of my stitch group, and it's Our Lasting Friendship by Blackbird Designs. I think there were there 8 of us in the end? Not enough to quite make it around the whole thing, but I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry too, Watch. But a number of stitchers had changed the called for colors, and so midway when I saw how theirs looked versus how monotone mine looked, I started having people change the colors. Well, so now that I've gotten mine back, I've been going back in and switching out to the colors to use more the red and the pinky, but I just think it's going to be beautiful. Beth from our group finished hers already, and so she had it at our stitch day, and it's just really a beautiful reminder of the friendships we've made, and I will get to finish that. And then my friend Roseanne had mine for the last rotation, and she hadn't gotten it done, so she mailed it to me. And she also mailed me this cute little Brenda Gervais chart, Santa Stops Here, to use sometime for a giveaway. But I think I may stitch it first. Sorry, guys. But along that lines, I think next video, I feel like I haven't done a giveaway in quite a while. So I think next video we'll maybe do some giving away. Maybe at least a couple charts. So Needlework by Kathy Barrick. I wanted mine to look just like the chart, but we'll see. I'm stitching this on 40 count vintage mocha, country mocha. And I feel like now it's getting fun to stitch because that spool of thread was just a beast. But I love the gold that I picked out. I actually got this at a needlepoint shop, and it's Splendor, and I can't see what color it is. I guess it's S985. Ooh, it's made in France. Fancy, but it just has like such richness of color to it that I love it. And then I'm just using NPI silk for the black, and I think Belsois, like an off-white for the creamy part. But this border is going to be a beast. I mean, I guess the good part is it's all the same stitch, so you can just kind of memorize the pattern in your head and not have to do a lot of counting, but it also seems like it will take some time to get around. So that's why I'm trying to finish up the inside first so that that all is done, and then it won't be so hard later on. And this is one I pulled out. It's Colonial Blooms by the Scarlet House. I'm stitching it 2/2 on 32 count dusk, which I loved how it looked on the dark, but every time I stitch on dark, I realize how much I hate to stitch on dark. I think I'm using pretty much the called for colors. There's major blunders on this one, but that's for me to know and no one else, right? Yeah, I'm stitching the board version, but I know, like, for a while I accidentally grabbed the wrong chart because there's one for the board, one for the pin keep, and so I was using the wrong colors, but I'm like, I am not pulling it out. It's just gonna have to work. But I try to, like, stitch a little bit on it here, stitch a little bit on it there. And then we haul out. This was Leanne's big basket, so I try to keep a lot of things in there. And I don't know if I showed this last time. Have I even started this? Oh, I think I started this last Christmas when I had my 12 starts Christmas. But I've got the roof line done. And I guess it would help to show you what that roof belongs to. Christmas in My Heart by Samplers Not Forgotten. When I saw this stitched up at Country Sampler, I knew how to do it. So I'm stitching this 1/2 on 36 count baked clay. It's really a pretty color. I would use that again. It's kind of fun, you know, sometimes you get in a rut of just using one certain color or one certain fabric that's your go-to, but I mean, then you end up with everything looking the same. So yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen. I showed this, I think, before, and I really am going to get started on this. I am not doing Sampler September because I bounce all over the place, but I have started the stocking, so maybe it's stocking September. But I would also like to start this Be Kind Sampler, Stacy Nash Primitives. And I've got the kit. I think it was a kit. Oopsie, that's getting pretty bright. So, yeah, I need to get started on that. So hopefully by next video, I'll have maybe 1 or 2 stitches in there. I've really been enjoying working on Plum Street Samplers this happy morning. And I'm doing the light version. And let's see here. So I had a little lapse in recording because yesterday it just got very, very, very hot in here. And so I stopped and we ended up going to the local ice cream shop and having a great ice cream cone. And then you can see in the background our beautiful swimming pool. So my husband bought this. It's one that fits in the back of your pickup truck, and he bought it for when the grandkids were here, but then the weather was we didn't really need it. We didn't have time for it. And so he's like, I bet you it'd be really refreshing if we just sit in there. But the funny thing is we have like really, really cold spring water. And so even though it was like 96 outside, it was so cold. Like I just sat on one of the chairs and put my feet in and I could barely stand it. And so we let it warm up until early in the evening, and then we went back out. And it once you got in, it truly was refreshing. But I thought maybe I'd go in this morning, and it's still really cold. Like I can't believe the temperature's up to 80. It never got below in the 70s, and yeah, so we'll see. The break in the weather is supposed to come at 3 this afternoon. There's going to be some storms probably later, hopefully, because need some rain up here. But yeah, so I kind of forgot where I was at. So I'll just kind of splice this together. But today is now Tuesday. And I'll show you the latest on what I've been working on. So, this was one of the Prairie Schoolers. This is 2010. And I'm moving along on this guy. I think I should be able to get him done fairly soon. But you can see some nice progress. And then I also, when we were in Michigan, I started the 2023 one. Snowy Night. And I started them at the other end of my piece of lint, or whatever this is, Lugana. And just got like his head. I've found that if I start with the heads of the Santas, like they have more character right away, and it's kind of fun to see where they end up. Here it is. Plum Street Samplers, This Happy Morning. Oops. Country Samplers. No. Plum Street Samplers, This Happy Morning, and I'm doing the light version. And so I have the dwelling finished. And I think at our stitch day, Beth and I decided that we couldn't decide if it was a house or a barn. So we decided to call it the house that was renovated into a barn. But I really feel like now that I have that done, I mean, there's a lot of other stuff, but I think, you know, much more able to chunk it out. And so I'm kind of excited to keep moving along on this one. And this is another one of my starts from the 12 Starts of Christmas last year. It's called Joyful Noel, and it's by Artful Offerings. And I saw it at Country Sampler, made as kind of a grungy pillow. And so I got this piece of pie crust, 36 count, and it really looks old and yucky, but I think it's perfect for this one. So this will definitely be a 2023 Christmas finish. And then this guy is that's my husband's text ringtone or whatever. This is Prairie Schooler Dear Santa 2006. And I'm hoping to have 4 of these eventually. I did have this one finished quite a while ago. This is the one that got me really interested in these. Love that. Yeah, 2019. So I guess it's time I get moving on these. But I'm stitching them on 28 count raw natural cashel. And I mean, I've got Santa done. Now it's just on to the outside. I had a couple blunders with the meeting up the border. You wouldn't think that would be that hard, but you know, sometimes when it's mindless, you really switch into mindless mode. And I think that's what happened there. Not really sure, but another one that is gonna get done. I don't think I'll frame them until I get 4 of them done, because that's what I would like. I'll just show you what else is in my basket. I'm going to start the Scarlet House Smith sampler. I keep saying that every time, but I really am going to start that this month. Love it. And I'm just trying to decide between both Lakeside's 40 count, Lakeside Vintage Metal Rue or the Lentil. Vintage Metal Rue is one of my favorites, and that's what I was going to do it on. But then I looked at how pretty this would be on this color. So now I don't know. And I think maybe what I'll do is, like the colors that are close, I'll stitch a couple X's in the margin just to see how they show up 1/2 before I make my final choice. But honestly, yeah. So I don't know. He's out plowing the field, so I'm not sure who's trying to get a hold of him. Let's see. What else do we have? Well, I showed you, well, in case you haven't seen, this is just, this is Christmas Garden, stitched half by Leanne, half by myself, and I still haven't personalized it, but maybe you didn't watch the episode where I showed it. I don't know, it's probably going to be hard to see. But I love it so much. And has such meaning. She did change the red. So, and I really like the colors she chose. So now I just need to get, and this is from the Home from the Holidays book. I mean, I think at one point it was a, singular chart, but it's also in this book along with other good things. And I'm in the process of kitting up, it's my working copy, Summer Souvenir Blackbird design, because I'm only down to one patriotic whip. And so I kind of would like to get this one at least a couple threads in, just so that I can say it started and it'll be ready. Honestly, stop it. It'll be ready for next year. And then I need to get back to this one. This is It's a Wonderful Life. And this house was a killer. I don't even know where I'm at, but I am going to start stitching on this again. I think I may take my gold out and restitch that because I don't really like it. But I have the house pretty much done, which, you know, sometimes those little houses are just killers. So, I don't know. We'll see if that gets done for Christmas. And this is another one I'm working on. Oh, where is it? Haha. Well, that's interesting. It's the early Christmas morning drum. Oh, duh. So I have like the outside pocket and then the inside pocket. So all I have to do is open the zipper. Imagine that. But I think I'm stitching this on Winter Brew, if I remember correctly. And I have nearly the top done. It's like, it seems like I had so many drums going lately. But it is pretty. It's just very... I wonder if there's a crisis. I doubt it, or my phone probably would be going off as well. But yeah, need to get back to that one. Okay. Oh, and this one too. I decided to restart just because my colors were not showing up. So, as you may recall, this is With Thy Needle and Thread by Samplers Not Forgotten. And my whites were not showing up at all. And so, at first I was trying to figure out what other color to use, but you can see how close that creamy color is. And then it was getting more and more complicated. So I decided instead just to use this piece from number 123 Stitch Company of 40 count antique lace. Oh, I thought I had us starting it. Oh, I did. Oh, but why is it up so far? I don't know. Maybe I was just testing the color. I bet you that's what I was doing. Because I can't imagine that I was started up that high. But anyways, I think the whites are going to show up so much better on that. So that's what's happening with that one. And you may say, you keep showing that. You haven't worked on it. Well, yes, you are correct. But it's not to say that next video I won't say I won't have it done. Because that's very, very unlikely. It's Dimensions Gold Collection Rooftop Santa Stocking. And it was my splurge on eBay. And as you can see, well, can't see yet, but just the tiniest of little starts, but it started because I start and stop, and then the light is coming in weird, and then I get interrupted and whatever. So, as I was saying, we went to this wedding in Michigan, which I I had always wanted to go to Mackinac Island and had heard about Traverse City, but didn't know what it was all about. So anyways, we drove with our friends and drove along the western shore of Lake Michigan up and over and stayed outside of off the island for Mackinac and spent 2 nights there and went over to the island for 1 day, which was fun to see. I, in my mind, had always had this idea of what it was like, but just lovely flowers. The drawback was it was a little muddy and kind of a little bit rainy that day. And also those horses really smell. Hate to say it for you horse people, but so we spent our time popping into some of the little shops. We did an island tour and didn't get to rent bikes. We just didn't have enough time, but saw some beautiful things. Went to the Grand Hotel. We didn't have the big buffet, but we had something to drink in the Cupola bar and beautiful views and walked around the grounds. So that was a lot of fun because that was always on one of my bucket list things. So it's always good to have something that you can check off. And so now I can say I've been there. We saw on the street, and I didn't go up to say hello, but from Little People Big World, Amy Roloff, she was like, she had her tripod out and was, I don't know, taking a picture for Instagram or something, and like I wanted someone to go up and say hello, and nobody else would. So, and I couldn't think of her name. I mean, I knew she was from a show, but I couldn't think of even what her name was. So then later on, we found her on Instagram, and yes, she was there. It wasn't her stunt double. So anyways, that was kind of funny. And then there was a church there, that real quaint little country looking church, and our friends are engaged, and so we were kidding them. So there's a 3-year waiting list, and we're like, well, you can put your name in now. But they didn't go for it. So and then we went down to Traverse City the next day, and there were wedding festivities on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So on Thursday, once we got to the hotel, like a lot of people were staying same spot we were, which was fun. Our son's friends and as well as he were all staying there. So it was fun because you'd run into people in the lobby. And so that night they had it was at a microbrewery outside the city, and a nice, welcoming event there, which was lovely. And then I'm trying to think what we did the next day. Oh, they had a beach party the next, for lunch the next day. So we got to see a lot of people there, and it was just a short walk from our hotel, so that was nice. And then we went out to dinner with some friends, and later on there was another meetup at one of the microbreweries in town, and so that was like the people from the rehearsal dinner came there. And then on Saturday morning we got up, and there was a farmer's market downtown Traverse City that we could walk to, so that was fun to get out and see the city a little bit. And then we got ready for the wedding, and the church was on the peninsula, and that is when I truly understood what the appeal was, because you look out and the water is like Caribbean color. It's like this blue green. I couldn't even believe it was Lake Michigan because it's not that way on the Wisconsin side. Just gorgeous. And like we I think after the wedding, which was very nice, we had a little bit of time, and so we went to there's a bunch of wineries, which who would think of that? But and you're looking from the winery out over this beautiful water. It's really gorgeous and unique. So yeah, it was really fun to see. But so we needed to get back to the hotel because we wanted to take the bus back up to the wedding venue, which was fairly close to where the church was. In hindsight, it probably would have been a little easier just to drive home from there. But anyways, so we ordered some kind of wine cooler and then realized we had like 5 minutes to drink it, and it was hot out, and they were like $13, so I didn't want to just throw it in the garbage. But like obviously couldn't take it in my friend's car, and so like I had a total brain freeze. They weren't very alcoholic, so but it was nice and refreshing, at least the first part of it. So we got back to the hotel, and then it was almost time to like go outside to wait for the bus. Well, we saw one bus and then found out it was for another event, and then there was another bus waiting down a ways, and so we went up to her, and yes, that was the right bus. So we got on, and my husband thought it'd be nice if we sat towards the back so that, it'd be easier for people to get on. So like all the kids who are, getting close to middle-aged adults, weren't on the bus yet, and we knew they were coming. And so she was like, well, is it time to get out? Well, so then somebody texts one of the kids, and, this whole gang comes out. They get on the bus is packed. And so she takes off, and there's a Taco Bell or something across the street, and all of a sudden she's like, and it's a busy road you have to pull out onto. So she like peels out onto this road and then turns into the Taco Bell parking lot. And we're like, what the heck? And she's like, well, some people got on the wrong bus, so I have to take them back to the hotel. And the people were like, sorry. But in the meantime, like, people had beverages on the bus, and there, as she's hitting the curb, the stuff's going up in the air. And it was mostly just the back of the bus that was really bouncy, because we kept looking at one of my son's friends in the front, and he looked pretty level. I'm thinking, oh, what are we doing in the back here? Well, anyways, she was like a crazy driver, so she dropped them off and then sped off, and I don't know, she must have been trying to make up for lost time, or I really don't know what she was doing. It was crazy, and there was lots of bumps and flying around, and I was very glad to get off the bus. But the wedding venue was beautiful. It was like, I guess, some rich person from years ago. Their I don't know, like escape. I don't think it was a hunting lodge, but just very a lot of nature tones, and beautiful dinner. Instead of having a big cake, they had a little cake with their dog, a simile of their dog on top, and then they had this big cherry pie, like humongous cherry pie, that then they later cut up. And they're just, they had a live band, which was good but loud, and but the outside was nice. It was there was a nice area that you could sit, and there's blue jay outside. Sorry for looking off, but just very nice. So that was fun. And we just had a lot of fun. And then we had seen a Big Boys restaurant, which are no longer in the Milwaukee metro area, and on the way up. So on the way back, our friend wanted to drive the quick way, or not the quick way, but so we'd avoid Chicago. So we went around the top again and had a stop at Big Boys, which was delicious. And then what else do we have going on? Oh, we had our kids and grandkids up for a weekend. That was a lot of fun. The older kids, got to be on the ATV, and we went to the little town whereby had their, summer celebration. So there's a parade where they got all this candy, and then afterwards we were walking around and they're like, one of the businesses had free hot dogs, snow cones, and cotton candy. So, everybody had lunch, and we left there and they had a great time, and we realized we hadn't spent a cent. It's like you think of all the places that cost, tons and tons of money, and that was not one of them. And we celebrated the younger two's birthdays while they were up here. So I made a chocolate mint cake per request of the 6-year-old, and the 4-year-old just got a box mint chocolate cake that was dairy-free as Dad could eat. And I think that actually was almost better than the chocolate mint cake. That was lots of work and expensive, and I don't know. It just didn't float my boat. I would never make it again. But always good to try something new. And then my granddaughter, my daughter is on the board of this organization that it's, to get families to volunteer together. So there's lots of activities where the kids can learn to volunteer. And so they were having their big 10-year anniversary picnic, and she was going to do some face painting. So she wanted to practice. So the two of us face painted each other, and we didn't have a mirror until we went in the bathroom when we were all done. And oh my gosh, did we laugh. It was funny. So, but a lot of fun. And she actually is pretty good at it. So, and then let's see. Oh, then they were playing bed and breakfast, and, she's making signs for everyone. And just was a lot of fun. And and my son and his girlfriend came for one night, the first night, and brought the dog. And so it was nice to see the dog has really settled down. And my husband's agreed to dog sit it while the rest of us go to the Packer game at the end of September. And speaking of which, we went to one of the preseason games with my sister and her husband, and they have a group they tailgate with every year. And so since it was a noon game, it was everyone brought something to share, and you brought your own sandwiches, and it was supposed to be nice, and it got really misty. So it's oh my gosh, I didn't bring any rain gear with me. I almost wore shorts and a sleeveless top, but so glad I threw on my jeans at the very last second when I was texting my sister. I'm like, what are you wearing? Can't decide on our own, but so glad she told me pants. And then what else have I been doing? Oh, my flowers actually looked better after kind of ignoring them last time up here. So the Inky Pinky and the Hardy Hibiscus are finally looking beautiful, and my front looks nice. My flower boxes just never took off. So, yeah, that I guess it wasn't the best year for them. But the flowers up here are just marigolds and petunias that totally get ignored. The only thing we can figure out is that maybe dew drips off the roof onto them. They're beautiful. So it's kind of crazy how that is. But let's see. And I spent 2 weeks listening to The Covenant of Water. a 31-hour audiobook, but just, interesting because you learn things about, it's a fiction, but there's nonfiction things about medicine and countries that you learn about and history. So I always kind of like something like that. What else? Oh, we had our Leanne's Legacy Day. It was really a nice day. Well, I first started stitching at like, I don't know, 1:13 or something like that. But convened at 9 o'clock to like 7 at night, and we all brought, dishes to share, and we had an outstanding, brag table. I don't know what else. What's a, brag doesn't sound right because people aren't bragging, but sharing table. Just beautiful things. Kathy brought some of her antique samplers, which I'll include in a video at the end. And there was we needed, I think, two tables with what people brought to share. So I think most people did go through home with at least an item or two. And a lot of us started a new Leanne's Legacy piece. So I always appreciate that and, what it means to our community. So yeah, all in all, that was a very nice day. We ended up getting a thunderstorm while we were there, which was out of the blue, and didn't get it at home, unfortunately. So everything was still really, really dry there. Oh, I worked on my quilt. Believe it or not, I have it pinned together, but I'm still like, the back is still like, there's no folds, but it's not perfectly smooth. So I think I need to consult some of my quilt friends and ask if I can like flip it over and smooth it out from the center. I don't know. So, and then I think I am going to try to free motion quilt it. That might be a mistake, but how do you learn otherwise, right? But I need to order or pick up a foot from my machine first. What else has been going on? So yeah, I think that's about it. So, we'll be going back home now, and then a little later this month, we have a trip to Boston planned. It's been on my list for many, many years. And we're going to spend a couple days there and then go up the coast to Maine to Arcadia National Park, which we were supposed to go like 15 years ago, and then called an audible on that vacation. Did something great, but never planned that trip again. So that's going to be outstanding. I'm really, really looking forward to that. So I have no idea when I'll be back. Maybe sometime in October. So that's why, if you're new to this channel, check the little bell or ring the bell or whatever you call the bell, because I'm very sporadic in when I record, and you just never know when I'm going to have a new video out there. It seems like, life gets in the way, but that's how it should be. This is a hobby, not a job. And so you need to keep it fluid and flexible, and be kind to yourself and your life, not try to make it a stressful thing. That's the way I look at it, at least. So I hope you agree. But I appreciate my loyal viewers, and also, the new people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Glad however you found me. And I appreciate you taking the time to watch. I hope I provide something, not unique, but like inspirational. So, and yeah, I I enjoy being creative, and I think I have from the time I was young. So it's really more than a passion. So thank you all those who have joined me for Leanne's Legacy. Don't forget to post pictures of your pieces using the hashtag Leanne's Legacy on Instagram, and I will put that hashtag in the show notes, the little drop down by the more, so that you can see the correct spelling, so we can all see what you're working on. And yeah, it's fun to see, you know, all that pops up, and the comments of people who are influenced by her still, even though she was with the stitching community such a short time. And of course, other friendships that this represents. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. So, thanks so much for watching, and I hope you all continue to fill the world with love. Thanks. Bye. So these are Annie B's breadwork pears. I just love how they turned out. I did them on 3 different linens, 3 different counts. So the first one is on 36 count Aztec red. And I think I used weak sand for the floss. And I just made some leaves out of a piece of wool I had. And I knew right away when I saw the pears that I wanted to use a cinnamon stick instead of felt for the stem. So I love how that turned out. And I also wanted to do like closer together X's on the sides. So I think they're really cute. And this is the next biggest one. This one is Lakeside Copper Vintage, 32 count. And I used Classic Colorworks Cherry Cobbler to stitch that one. And again, use the cinnamon stick. And then the biggest one I stitched on, let's see, Lakeside Vintage Meadow Rue. And I see I have a little piece of something there. And I use Belsois Sister Scarlet. So really a variegated floss. But I love how that one turned out too. And I have to show, this was a gift from my friend Lisa. It's like a little little shaker box with a pin cushion, but she had someone make this for me, and then she used this was her fabric. Oopsie. I always have threads all over my stuff, but this is the coordinating fabric, and so I used that on 2, and then this was the other piece that she gave me. But I think I just love how the pin cushion looks with the pears. So there's backing up the full view. This is my next finish. This was one that Leanne had in her stash. She had it all kitted up with the called for threads, and I knew I always wanted to stitch it. It's just a cute little easy design, the quilt, and it's Grandma's Quilt Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks. And I just stitched it on Portobello linen. I think it was 30 count. So I used 2/2. And I think that one turned out cute as well. And this last piece is stitched on 36 count. I think it was just a scrap piece of linen that I had, and I stitched JBW Designs French Country Flower Basket, and I used a piece of vintage lace and just tied a ribbon around it. I stitched it with Emma Pink. I think it's a Weeks dye work. And I love the variegation in the floss, and just, I don't know, I just think it all goes together quite well. So really, really loved that little basket as soon as I saw it and knew I had to stitch it. This is the cute thank you note and gift I got from Vicky, one of my viewers who won a giveaway this past spring. And she sent this cute little scissor fob she stitched. I just love it. I mean, how cute is that? And I always loved a themed gift. It just touches my soul. So thank you so much, Vicky. I appreciate your kindness and thinking of me, and what beautiful work. I love it. Thanks so much. I'd love to show you some of the wonderful gifts we all received at our stitching day. This was from Annie. Always can't have enough needles and great tomato pincushion. And Linda made this cute little scissor fob. Colette gifted us all with this cute Wisconsin chart. Oh, and here's one more that I forgot about from Roseanne. Look at this cute, it's a cute cherry bag. Definitely a theme going on here. Bing cherry, the pin, and look at this cute tape measure. Adorable.